Okay, I'm going to mix up some traditional paints, my 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to start with the Artist Loft White Flow Acrylic, which is always my go-to. I need a new batch, and I usually keep it mixed in a larger container. So I'm going to do that right now. I get that at Michael's. Artist Loft is a Michael's brand. Then you do 1-to-1 ratio, so you're going to do just as much Floetrol as you do the white paint. So that's going to be a pretty full container. And this is going to be too thick, but I'm going to try the SHELEE Art Bloom technique. So I'm going to leave it thicker, and I'm going to mix up some colors. I've got me some little silicone cups because some people had asked about, they wished I had recycled more. So I'm going to try to use silicone cups occasionally. I'm going to put in a little squirt. That was Royal Fuchsia. This is Dioxazine Purple, which is not mixed up very well. I'm going to basically try to mix about the same ratios of paint. This is Prussian Blue. Most of these are DecoArt. I just wanted to try regular craft paints for the average person. I didn't want anything extra special or pricey, so just trying it out to see if I can get any effect without silicone, just using the craft paints. So that is Bahama Blue. And I think I'll do this beautiful Bluegrass green, which is very vivid. This Bluegrass green, and I think I want to use this Citron green for just a pop. It's got a clog in it. I'm just going to open it up and let it out. So it doesn't look like I have as much purple as the rest. And this will be more than I ever need to try this, but just going to mix a little bit of each. So I'm going to take each one and add Floetrol like I would normally do. This could be a total fail, but I'm just going to experiment and see what happens. You can kind of see through these cups a little bit, so I'm just eyeballing a 1-to-1 ratio. A little bit more than 1-to-1, that's okay too. That's my typical recipe. Do this one next, the fuchsia color. I do want them all about the same consistency. I heard that's really important for the SHELEE Art Bloom technique. I've tried, the recipes. She's in Australia, but I've tried the American recipes, and I got a pretty satisfactory result the other day. But I just really wanted to try not using anything super special and just see what I get. These are pretty colors together too. Let's see, I think I only have 6 of these cups. I do want one more color. I'm going to mix one golden color. So this is Ultramarine Blue. Don't need a whole lot of that because it's very potent. I'll add some Floetrol to that, about the same amount as I did the other colors. Even though you only put a few drops in, it's so potent that it really tints the Floetrol very well. Okay. And I do have one color I may or may not use. It's kind of like a periwinkle blue. And it has white in it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use it because I don't know if I want anything that has the color white in it. So let me just make sure this is stirred up. I've got cell activator, the white, and the black. And we'll see which way I decide to go with which. But instead of trying house paint for the base for the pillow and putting varnish into all these, I don't know. It probably won't work. We'll give it a shot. I'm going to try it on a tile. The other issue I've had when I did these with the traditional, recipes that have varnish and all that is they crack or craze because they're so thick. So that's why I wanted to try just something with none of that extra stuff in it. This is alcohol in my squeeze bottle here, and I'm going to just clean off a few of these tiles here. If I do one and it doesn't really do much of anything, then I'll kind of know my answer right then and there. But I am going to experiment and just see what happens. The alcohol just cleans that tile really well. So what I'm going to do is put a pillow of the white with the Floetrol in it. And I'm going to lightly torch just to pop the bubbles. No other reason. Okay, let's just see what happens. Let me put some gloves on. I'm so anxious to do this that I'm just ahead of myself here. Okay, let's start with this bright citron green. So it made cells. Good news. I am going to let that kind of settle back a bit. So you could really almost use any other color this way as a cell activator. Let me try the Prussian blue as the cell activator. It should be a little bit different consistency, and it's not, so I'm not sure if I'll be successful on this one or not. But okay, so that has less action going on, probably because that is thicker or the same consistency as the other paints, whereas your cell activator probably needs to be just a hair thinner. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch. I did not tape these tiles because it was just kind of a last minute decision to try this. That's not too bad for just regular paints with Floetrol. Not too bad at all. It's not, exactly the bloom technique, but it's pretty decent. Break up the surface, but it's, I think this one is a lost cause as far as the bloom technique goes, but I'm going to still tilt it and see what I can get from it. Because basically any pour is still a pretty pour for the most part. They don't have to all be perfect blooms. But it goes just as slow as the wall paint for the That's a meh. That's a meh on that one. Persevere, persevere. Always be willing to try different things. You just never know. So we're going to put down another layer of white. Okay, y'all, this is kind of working, and I'm really, really happy about it because it's been so difficult for people to achieve, and you just want to share the love. That looks like a SHELEE bloom more so than the others, so ching, 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 happy girl. Kind of wish I'd taped these tiles, but that's okay. Look at that one. Just Floetrol. Alright, so that's the best one so far. Let's try one dark to light. No water added to this, just Artist Loft White and Floetrol. Y'all, I'm happy about this. I really am. So I think the black was Carbon Black mixed with Floetrol and a little bit of water, I think. I don't remember. The Citron went duller on top of the real fuchsia. And it's also the opposite color on the color wheel, which makes brown. So it dulled down that Citron on top of the Royal Fuchsia. Not my favorite color scheme. See, I'd like to be having a lot more rainbow colors in this. That one dark to light, it definitely fizzled out with the color choices. Red mixed up, and I'm going to pull it out because I gotta keep on pouring. It has sparkle in it. I don't remember what brand it was, but I had sparkle. I put sparkle in it. I kind of feel like I need to do another one like that to get a set. So yes, I'm putting more paint down than I typically would if I were doing a standard pour with the base. I want to do one with the red first though. I'm crazy today. I'm just happy that I'm doing something that I like to do. That red, ooh, 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 put it aside, Sandra. Sparkle's coming out, woo! I'm going to do another one like that one because I want a match to it. That one might have to get scraped. I don't like to scrape stuff, but it's just ugly. There's no two ways about it. This almost looks like a butterfly. Don't lose your shape. I'm going to leave it. Can you see the sparkles? Oh, drip. I don't know where it dripped. Can you see the sparkles? I don't know. Just in that one color, it adds sparkle to the whole thing. And the way I add sparkle is you mix your color and you put about half a teaspoon of that Artist Loft iridescent medium that I use on my angels into it. And boy, does it give it some shimmer. So this one's got to go. This would be covered with cork in the back anyway, so I'm not worried about that. The cork will stick to it nice and fine. The dog is in the studio here with me, and he's a puppy. He's almost 5 months old, a little less than 5 months. And we're upstairs in the bonus room, which he's not used to being in. He's been in here only 1 or 2 other times. So it makes him nervous. So he literally is laying on my feet as I'm standing here. That's love. Oh, what's love got to do with it? Okay. Y'all don't want to hear me sing. Okay, so that one looks close enough to the other one, so that one's a good one in my opinion. Now we're going to take this one. SHELEE is tremendously gifted at doing her bloom techniques. She has just got the patent on it. She's just so good. There's another one that's these colors, and I'll have a pair of those. So the only one I won't have a pair of is this one that I didn't use a cell activator on, which was white or black. I just used the blue, Prussian blue. So it's pretty, but it's not a bloom look. The rest of them are, and I'll zoom out so you can see them before I finish this video. I have to label things, or I don't remember what it is. White, Artist, Loft, and Floetrol. No water. I think if I had put water in, it would have made the colors bleed out significantly. So that makes, if you torch it after your colors, it makes lots of little spots come up. If you want that, then torch the heck out of it. I didn't really want the white little spots. Okay. I'm so scared I'm going to knock a tile over. This one looks like it's precarious, but I don't think it is. I think that's better. Okay, so there's one that stands out alone that does not have a pair, but these are pair, 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 and pair. And by golly, they look like blooms. You know? And it's just paint, Floetrol. Nothing else. The cell activator was titanium white by Amsterdam. Now I will say that on the white, it was Amsterdam white, about a teaspoon to like 4 tablespoons or more of Floetrol. Way more Floetrol with just a little dab of this in it. And I think I put a little squirt of glue, but I don't know. And I probably used a little bit of water because someone told me that the white needed to be, the cell activator needed to be thinnest. And I might have put a little bit, like a drop or two, of Liquitex White Acrylic Ink into that white. But I know the black is just Carbon Black and Floetrol. So I think you could still just do the white with Floetrol and a touch of water, and you'll get these results. I am just so pleased with the whole process. I just really did not think I could achieve this look with standard paints, and I did, and that is exciting for those that don't want to get all the stuff or are having no luck with what they've bought. Because SHELEE's in Australia and she uses Australian Floetrol, which is different from American Floetrol. So it just makes it really kind of frustrating for some people. And I'm just happy that there's hope for those that can't afford to do anything else. So there's my little silicone cups and my paint in it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. And I'm just happy it worked out. So I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.